So taking another breath down, perhaps closing your eyes, dropping your energy down to your belly. Letting it go in this place of essential being. I see this stillness at the bottom of the breath going all the way down to the center of the earth, the stillness in the center of the earth, the stillness holding us all together. So, from this place of your own personal stillness, if you gently come back and open your eyes and look around the room and see each other without giving up the stillness that you would speak from. So, what I'm modeling, hi, Arcady. Let's take a breath with Arcady, calling from Brooklyn. And now, as we look around the room without giving up the stillness, we share the stillness. My ideal is to speak from this place, even though I'm with you all here. So we're in a state of what we're calling shared stillness. It's the connection, the joining of our individual stillness to form a field of human receptivity. So one more breath. And from here, I'm going to have each of you take a minute and check in through my eyes on the screen. And Tatini, since this is your first Zoom circle, you get to go last and see people modeling. And I really would like you to each, in your time, reflect on what this stillness is for you so that we all kind of sense how each of us is coming into this place, if that's what comes through you in this check-in. But stay with my eyes on the screen while I'm in the camera. So who would like to go first? Who would like to check in first? Or Katie, I'm going to call on you. Okay. So 1 minute, checking in through my eyes, starting with a breath, starting now.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here again. I'm always looking forward to the Zoom circles because it's a time to refresh and cleanse my thoughts and kind of reboot and just kind of think about what is truly important. Um, 'Cause I never really plan for it. I never really know what I'm going to say. It's kind of all free flowing like a river. So it's just free flowing, whatever is in the moment. Felt like so far today was a pretty nice day. I got up really early and I got some work done. I had a lot of other Zoom meetings with people, so I didn't get too much of my paperwork done, but that's okay because I feel like the human connection is much more important. You always do the paperwork later. So I felt like it was a good day so far, and I'm looking forward to this meetings. I feel like this is a time to really reboot and refresh and see where that river wants to take me. So looking forward to it.
Thank you, Arcady. Everybody gets to say thank you, Arcady.
Thank you, Arcady.
Yeah. Somebody move to go next? Liz, checking in through my eyes on the screen, starting with a breath, starting now.
Well, it snowed here yesterday, and last night we got about 3 inches of new snow here. There was mist this morning. It was so beautiful. Mist covering the whole sky and everything covered in snow. And now it's gotten bright and sunny. I went out for a little bit just to walk around, visit the horses, breathe the fresh air, listen to the birds. It's so beautiful when the bright sun is shining on top of the snow, cleared away all the mist. Really cold still. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Everybody gets to say thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Liz.
Liz.
Ah. Who's up? Laura. Checking in through my eyes, starting with the breath, starting now.
Hello to everyone. It is great for me to be here, and I'm extremely happy. I was not happy before entering into the Zoom, but as I started being in contact with you and perhaps with the essence of each one of you, I start feeling the happiness in my body, and that happiness wants to jump, really. It's like jumping and jumping. It's like a little girl that finds many people with whom that little girl can play. So I really like that sensation in my body at this moment. And I'm happy and grateful to be here. It is an opportunity for me to continue practicing being in my presence, being in the stillness. Now I have discovered that stillness is a state of consciousness that allows me to get in contact with myself, and from that connection, start connecting with other people. And I will talk a little more about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Lena. Checking in through my eyes, starting with the breath, starting now.
Usually, first of all, I'm very happy to see everybody. And usually it's hard for me to find stillness. I'm a typical yo-yo. I like to jump, run, and do everything quickly. But I think after weather changed here, we have rain season, and I think the rain helps to calm me down because I can't go anywhere. Usually I hike and I cannot hike right now. And I'm in my office most of the time reading and doing everything. I'm trying to do everything slow. It's actually perfect time for me to change, to shift a little bit and be less anxious and be more present. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you, Lena.
Ah. Tatini. Checking in through my eyes on the screen, starting with the breath, starting now.
Good to be here. I feel very comfortable with your presence and the space you create. Very drawn to speaking from silence, and a little bit mystified for myself about it too. I've had a long journey with speaking, from being totally shy and never speaking to more than one person at a time, really, to becoming a teacher and presenting stuff in front of groups and feeling comfortable. And so from repressed to letting it flow, and now I want to bring in some deliberation in my speech, which is, I have to figure out how that will go from intuitive speaking and trusting the flow of words to bringing in more mind, and how stillness will transfer to my mind. That'll be interesting. That's it.
Thank you, Tatini.
Thank you, Taitini.
Thank you, Tatini.
Okay, thank you all for getting here, your fullness. So continuing when we speak, to speak from the belly, to speak from under the surface. 6-minute turn, starting with breaths. Arcady, starting with breaths, and then first thing you say is the name of one of us. When you hear your name, Tatini, you look into the camera and give your attention into the lens until another name is called. Arcady, starting with breaths, calling a name.
Can't hear him though. He's unmuted, but we don't hear him.
Ah, he's back. Starting with breaths, calling a name. Starting now, Arcady. Oops, you're still muted somehow.
Perhaps the volume.
Could it be your volume? Oh, wait, maybe. No,
Oh, there's a message.
no, it's not his volume.
It's this message. He just sent us a message saying he needs to run for a second to move car.
Oh, he has to move his car? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I've seen that. Thank you for noticing that. Okay, Arcady. Go ahead. Arcady, we don't hear you. Do you have to move the car? Go ahead. Okay. Yeah. So, Liz, starting with breaths, calling a name to the camera, starting now.
Lee, I'm trying to connect to this place of stillness inside. It still feels shaky. Feels shaky inside, but breathing down into the earth feels really grounding. But it doesn't help me know what to say. Tatini, I've been feeling really sad today. It's just a sad day. Some days are. Lena, there's happiness there too. I've been feeling frustrated with my meditation practice. I feel like as much as I keep trying, that I'm not able to focus very well. Laura. And maybe I can, and I'm just being frustrated anyway. Lee, I was looking at this website today of a monastery up in Washington State on an island. I think it's on Whidbey Island, and it's a Zen monastery that has been there since the 1990s on this island. And I'm planning on going there in May for a retreat. Lena, that's what I want to do after tax season is over. To plan to go on this retreat. And I've heard that the teachers there and the practice there is really strict. And my teachers think that's maybe what I need to be able to drop away my mind and really sink into the emptiness. Tatini. So I'm going to see if I can go on this retreat. It's limited occupancy. And I don't know how much more it'll be limited now with the COVID. They might only allow a few people to actually go there. But apparently the restrictions are less in Washington state than they are here. So I might actually be able to go in person. That would be really wonderful. Laura, I haven't been on a plane all year this year because of COVID. But I went driving on a trip up to Yellowstone earlier in the year. But if I went to Washington, I would have to fly. Katie, I have a brother who lives up in Washington, but he's in the eastern part of Washington. He owns a house up there and works as a computer programmer. I have a hard time getting along with him. Alina, I love him, and we grew up really close and played together. We're only 2 years apart. And we did everything together when we were growing up. But when we got to be adults, we drifted further and further apart. And now we don't have a lot in common. Tatini, he's very strongly right-wing and very strongly conservative Christian and likes to express his views pretty strongly. And it makes it challenging for me to relax with him. I still love him. Laura, it's nice just to talk with other people, be in this space with other people, take a break from my working day, preparing tax returns, just settle into some stillness. Feels nice to be listened to. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Liz.
I'll start the appreciations, and Liz, you repeat. Spacious, relaxing stillness.
Spacious, relaxing stillness. Thank you, Lee. Laura,
Honest seeker.
honest seeker. Thank you, Laura. Lena,
Beautiful flow.
beautiful flow. Thank you, Lena. Katie,
Vibrant of vulnerability.
vibrant vulnerability. Thank you, Katie. Tatini,
Calming, still, deep ocean.
calming, still, deep ocean. Thank you, Tatini.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Katie, 6 minutes, starting with a breath, calling name to the camera, starting now.
Laura, so I was, like I was saying before, I was just happy to be here. And I feel like whenever I'm in this Zoom circle, it's a type of meditation where you get to really relax and go deep inside yourself and see like what's important to you. So I'm not really sure, like today, I feel like I had a good day, you know, wasn't too productive, but it wasn't bad either. So I feel like I'm in a kind of like a state of equilibrium, or a state of like a medium state, not like overly great and not anything bad either. So, but Lena, yesterday I actually was a little bit like stressed because I had to go pick up my son. He does tennis, and I had to go to all the way up to Syosset in Long Island. It's pretty far away. So I was driving there, and then I forgot, like I was doing this kind of like a session with somebody, and it was a group of people that I'm in another group I'm in, like for professionals, and we were supposed to be doing this this session, like kind of like speaking, but it was anyway, but I was there, and I had to do it from my car. So I was like a little bit like worried about it, because I'm like, how am I going to do this from my car? Because everybody else is like in their office or in, you know, beautiful lighting, and they were doing their speech, prepared speeches or whatever. And I had to do it from my car, and it was dark already, so I couldn't. So it was like a little bit like that movie, The Blair Witch Project, because I just had this one little light, and it was totally dark, to teeny. But I think it went okay, because I just I worked on this case on Monday for a client, and so even though I didn't prepare for this project, I knew that case really well. So I kind of just told that story of that client, and I kind of just told it from my heart, from what I knew about that person and how I developed his case. And I think it came across pretty good. I mean, I have to watch it. It was recorded, so I have to watch it to make sure it was good and I could fix whatever wasn't good. But I felt like, even though I was in the car and it was dark, it came across okay, because I really had it in my heart. Like, I knew the client really well, and I was able to tell his human story, which is really important. So, Liz, actually, I think somebody recommended this book, right? Human Story book or something. I think maybe it was Liz a few weeks ago, and I actually got it as well, and I was reading it, and it was really cool. It's this guy who like goes through New York City, and he finds people and he tells their stories, like, and some of them are like, you know, not too long, like just a paragraph or two. And so I use it in my business as well. I'm an attorney, so I represent clients and I tell their stories. So it was kind of similar. So I love that. Every time I'm like stressed at work or tired, I just open up the book. I think it's called Humans of New York, or Humans, and it has all these cool stories. So I just read like one or two stories, and then it gives me inspiration, and then I put it back down and go on with the grind. But yeah, but Lee, but I'm looking forward to this weekend, because we're supposed to get snow here in New York as well, upstate. So I think I'm going to go upstate this weekend, take the kids and my wife, and maybe do a little skiing. So I only went skiing once this season, and it was to Vermont, which we really loved. That was around December, but it started great. It started like with a lot of snow, but then the ice came and the rain came, and it was still good, but it was a little slippery. So, but now the snow is finally coming. So looking forward to that. That should be a fun diversion from the work. And Lena, so I just felt like everything is like going pretty good, like I was saying, but it's just, I feel like everything is like back to normal almost, but maybe it's like a little bit of a modified reality, a little bit of a new normal, because I feel like every day I'm coming into the office here, I'm doing work, I'm like busy. I feel like I have to like even map it out, because I can't get it all done. So I have to like map out what I'm going to do today, what I'm going to do next week, and put it all in the calendar, like even sometimes months ahead. But it's just a new normal, because we're not really going places so much anymore. And but I don't know, hopefully by doing these physical activities, like going skiing, going up to the mountains when weather gets better, I want to go to the beach, maybe run on the beach, or of course go swimming, do these physical activities. That kind of balances things out, because that it keeps you in that equilibrium between your work life and your health, your physical activity, your family life. So that's always like a balance that I'm trying to trying to improve. So, but yeah, I'm just happy to be here and just listening to everyone else. And I feel like by listening to other people, it also helps me to learn more about myself and to improve myself by listening to other people's stories and listening to other people's observations, whether they be personal stories or they be comments on their environment, like the nature, or yeah, it's very helpful. So I'm gonna relax and listen attentively to everyone else. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Arcady.
Thank you, Arcady.
Thank you, Arcady.
Thank you.
Arcady, warm, generous spirit.
Warm, generous spirit. Oh, thank you, Lee. Oh, Liz.
Playful, open, and connected.
Playful, open, and connected. Oh, thank you, Liz. Oh, Lena.
I like playful soul.
Playful soul. Oh, thank you, Lena. Oh, Tatini.
Vibrant warmth.
Oh, vibrant, warm. Oh, thank you, Tatini. Laura.
Vibrant flow.
Oh, vibrant.
Yes.
Vibrant flow. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Arcady. Did I miss anybody? Did everybody? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arcady. Yes.
Laura, 6 minutes, starting with breaths, calling a name, starting now.
Tatini. Another thing that I have learned about stillness is that allows me to be in contact with my inner wisdom or higher self or divine self or whatever we want to call it. And that allows me also to start learning more how to respond instead of reacting. And that, Arcady, has given me a lot of very good things in my life. One of them is to have a better relationship with myself and with many people around me. Because in the past, I used to react and I had a lot of problems, of course, because I was coming more from my emotions instead of my heart. And now I am more aware of what I'm going to say. And Lena, I have understand that I can choose how to respond. I can choose my emotions and my thoughts. And I really like that. And now I am more aware of that. I am practicing that, to choose my emotions, to choose my thoughts. At least this month, because February is coming, and in Mexico, February, the Valentine's Day, we don't have a Valentine's Day. We have the date of friendship and love. So I have decided that since today, I'm going to start practicing self-love and love to other people. And I think that it's going to be very good for me, because sometimes I recognize that I am not loving myself. I am criticizing myself. And I really want to be more compassionate with myself, more in acceptance with who I am and what I am doing at this moment. Even though that I am not getting the success that I want in my business, it's like, okay, that is perfect. Accepting myself as I am. And this is something that I really want to do, starting loving and accepting myself. And Lee, I think this came also this week because I was meditating and suddenly I got this idea about that I am creating a mandala in my day-to-day communication with other people. It's like I was imagining that I was having this kind of helicopter vision, and I was looking at myself from a very high altitude, and I was looking at myself as a point of light, and then connected with many other points of light in that mandala or in that network. And what I also started seeing that, Taitini, is that mandala is in constant movement in terms of my emotions and my thoughts. And sometimes it was also not only movement, but color, that it was related to my emotions. That image came to my mind. It's like, I don't know, you have seen this kaleidoscope? Oh, yes. And then moving the kaleidoscope and seeing different. For me, it's fascinating to see that. And Arkady, I was thinking that I was seeing this kind of movements and mandalas in terms of my relationship with other people, because I am affecting one relationship, but that person is having many other connections. So at the end, it's like a living mass moving around that. And that image came to me very, 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 very vivid. And I really like it. I think that, yes, it is totally true. And then I said, okay, I can choose that color and that vibrancy and aliveness is going to depend on my energy that I'm sending, or that I am there as a point of consciousness, I can say. Then now one of my purposes is to continue bringing more love and light, Liz, to that mandala and that connection with other people. And as I was saying, February is in Mexico the day of friendship and love. So which great opportunity for me, since today starting thinking about more consciously to bring love and acceptance in any connections that I do or that I have with any other person, even if I don't know those people. And with that, Lee, with that kind of vivid image, that just gives me happiness. Like, for example, at this moment, I can see that we are forming this kind of mandala just with our interaction and the the comments of each one of us. Is a very, very beautiful mandala, very beautiful tapestry. I can say that we are just moving as we are doing. And as I am doing this and I am saying this, Tatini, that reminds me a movie that I saw in Netflix. I don't know if you have had the opportunity to watch it. It's My Octopus Teacher. And really, I love that movie. When I saw it, I have watched it twice. That opened my heart to really be more conscious about the connections that we can establish with other people. And now, Arkady, I am watching the series about Tales by Light in Netflix also. If you have not watched it, I highly recommend it. And it's really very interesting to see about the myths about the wild animals, like, for example, the whales or the sharks. And it's very, very interesting to see the connection between those animals and the human beings. So thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Laura, eloquent and soulful.
Eloquent and soulful. Thank you, Lee. Yes, Lena.
Deep soul connection.
Deep soul connection. Thank you, Lena. Liz.
Creative, happy, vibrant.
Creative, happy, vibrant. Thank you, Liz. Yes, Arkady.
Energizing and flourishing.
Energizing and flourishing. Thank you, Arkady. Yes, Tatini.
Shining love light.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Shining love light.
Shining love light. Thank you, Tatini.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Lena.
Can I have 1 second? I forget something in the oven.
Oops.
In the oven, that sounds German too. In the oven.
We can Hmm. Waiting in the stillness is the opposite of waiting. Dwelling in the stillness. So Lena,
Yes.
starting with the breath,
Mm.
looking around, calling a name to the camera, starting now.
Lee, this is my nature to do few things at the same time. I was trying to cook, have a session, and do much more. Everything is just. I really hope the weather will change me at least a little bit. I don't need to run and rush anywhere, but I still do. I even caught myself. I was observing everybody during the session, and everybody's just sitting without moving. I think I already shift and move maybe 10 times during the session, just the beginning for first 30 minutes. I moved and shift a few times already. My yo-yo nature is hard to change. Okay, Tatini. I found the way how I can meditate inside of the house. Usually I do meditate daily in the forest, but since we have rain and I don't want to go outside, I found the way how I can do it. And the only option for me was, since I like to be in the hot tub, I decided to put candles everywhere around the hot tub. I lying down and I'm observing the flames, and somehow it just shift my mood, not be a lot in the head, but just to be present and quiet. I tried so many things. We have yoga room, it didn't work. I mean, I was trying to meditate in yoga room, it didn't work. I tried to meditate in different parts of the house, it didn't work. But what I found lately, just perfectly working for me. It doesn't work for a very long time, but I see a shift. And I think if I will be meditating for every day for at least 10 minutes for maybe for a few months, I will be a different person. Laura, I would like to explore why, I don't know if it's triggering me, but something in my body, something shifting, and I'm like in defensive mode. When I have my session and someone walks into the kitchen and I can hear people, I mean, my people is just my daughter is and my husband, there is nobody else in the house. But my body shifts and I'm immediately in defensive mode. I don't want to share. But they have nothing to do with the group. It has something to do with my family members. I don't want them to be near my office where I have my sessions. It makes me uncomfortable. Liz, I think I go right away to the turtle mode. I just want hide and then goes judgment towards myself. I judge myself probably. First of all, I don't want anybody hear how I speak English. I feel embarrassed of my English in front of my family members, even though all my family members are Russian, Russian Americans. But I don't know. I just need to explore. But there is something is going on every time when I have a session and someone in the kitchen. right away, my body shrink. My body shrink, and I become, I would call myself aggressive. Sometimes I blew or I scream something to the kitchen, like, get out of the kitchen. Don't be near my office. And sometimes right after the session, I can come to my family members and tell them that I was disappointed in their behavior. Arcady. Couple days ago, it wasn't a couple days ago, it was like long weekend, last weekend, it was long weekend, it was spiritual group. And it was my turn to talk. We have like 15 minutes, each one is talking 15 minutes, and we have a topic. And my daughter was in the kitchen. It's not like I was scared, but I became so uncomfortable that I just dropped the session. I didn't know how to get out of the situation, and I didn't want to say something from my heart, personal, very vulnerable, and I just dropped the session. I pretend that my Zoom is not working and cut it off. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you.
Lena,
Yeah.
Lena, delightfully transparent.
Delightfully transparent. Thank you. Yes, Liz.
Joyful exploration.
Joyful exploration. Thank you, Liz. Yes, Laura.
Sincere aliveness.
Sincere aliveness. Thank you, Laura. Yes, Arcady.
Honest creativity.
Honest creativity. Thank you, Arcady. Yes, Bettini.
Explorer, honesty, truthful.
Explorer, honesty, truthful. Thank you, Bettini.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you, Lena.
Tatini, 6 minutes, starting with breaths, calling your first listener to the camera, starting now.
Laura. So I'm experimenting now. I have a lot of content I could talk about. I want to really stay in touch with the stillness. The emptiness in the belly and the words spoken are in the mind, and there's a gap in between. Is there really? Wondering. Just exploring the in-between state. Arcady. The word I see in my mind is cancer. I want to talk about that a little bit because that's my current reality. I've been diagnosed last August with one lump, no metastasis, easily healable, easy comparatively to other cancers. And I'm done with my treatment now, and I'm getting ready to get strong. Or I'm in the process of getting strong again. I'm quite weak. I'm anemic from the chemo and the radiation. I can't work. And my hairstyle at this point is a fashion choice, so I'm going to stay short. Just to mention that. Liz. I do feel like I'm a very deepened person. Looking at maybe possibly dying, and I've been working in hospice the last 6 years, so death isn't a new theme. It wasn't so. It was new for me to be in that position. I've been with dead bodies and the dying, and that's a whole different thing than looking at the possibility of one's own passing. Lena. I probably won't pass from this episode. I got an MRI and the tumor is gone, so that's good. But I still need to get a biopsy to know for sure, which I get in a month. So I can't quite be 100% relieved. And Lee, probably not going back to the innocence of before that diagnosis, because it can reoccur. I've seen many people die from recurring cancer. Not from the first episode, but it does come back for many people. And of course, only, I only lay hands on those that pass. So there's many stories where people don't pass and they live a healthy life after cancer treatment. But I lost my job, and so I'm looking at a new life. I don't know if that's the right word. Laura. I haven't quite yet lost it. I'm still on medical leave, but I think I need to quit it. And then I'll have to, then the door is closed and then the new door will open, I'm sure. So I'm a little bit sensing that sense of excitement of something new happening. I miss working in hospice very much, but I can go back as a volunteer and just do a 3-hour shift instead of 12-hour shifts, which is so intense. Liz. I'm very attracted to Zen myself. I could never go into a monastery and do a strict discipline, though. I would so much fight with the discipline that it would be counter beneficial for me. But I'm drawn to be in the monastery silent space. I have to maybe make my own monastery where nobody has to do anything, but it's silent. And we share meals. That's my favorite thing. Sharing meals in silence with fellow retreatants. Lee. Does it mean a minute or does it mean it's ended?
15-30 seconds.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatini.
Thank you, Tatini.
Thank you, Tatini.
Tatini. Expansive, nourishing presence.
Expansive, nourishing presence. Thank you. Lena.
Deep healing inquiry.
Deep healing inquiry.
Thank you.
Laura.
Beautiful, peaceful presence.
Beautiful, peaceful presence. Thank you. Katie.
Calm, intentional wanderings.
Intentional wanderings. Thank you. Liz.
Grounded, peaceful presence.
Grounded, peaceful presence. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatini.
Thank you, Tati.
Thank you all.
Okay, we have a final turn up to 2 minutes, completion of the experience today. You can look anywhere. You don't have to call names. You could look around like it's a regular Zoom call. If you call names, we'll be there. So closing, completing with Liz, starting with a breath, starting now.
I do feel complete, completed, settled, peaceful. Still sad, still happy. This will be the last speaking circle I'll be able to be in for a while because my work is getting really busy. I'm a tax accountant and I already have more work than I can keep up with, and we'll have to be working late hours and working on weekends and not doing anything else except work pretty much until the middle of April. So I will miss you all, and it's such a joyful experience to come here and experience the presence of this group and being listened to and listening to others and connecting through stillness. So hopefully I will be able to come back after tax season is over, and we'll see where I am then, where my life is. So yeah, I guess that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you. Thank you, Liz.
Completing with Arcady, starting with a breath, starting now.
This speaking circle was very enriching. I learned a lot, and I was thankful for being able to participate and being able to speak and also to listen to everyone else. I've got so many great thoughts and great ideas of paths that I could pursue, or things that I learned that I could pursue as well in the future. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to doing more of it, to listening to other people, and to practice some of these ideas of truly listening, being present, and how to present the speech or the communication to make it more interesting. I also like the Zen and the Buddhism. I go to a temple sometimes upstate. I might go this weekend if we end up going skiing. There's a beautiful temple in upstate New York. It's very, very interesting. They have these prayers for world peace on Sunday mornings where everyone sits and prays. And it's very, they were doing it through Zoom because of the pandemic, but I believe now you could go in person. So I might try that. And they also have a wonderful little cafe and the shared meals and the really cool space. So I might check that out to get that that peace and that stillness. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Arcady.
Thank you, Arcady.
Thank you, Arcady.
Completing with Laura, starting with a breath, starting now.
I continue feeling this happiness inside of me, but now it is more enriched, it's more enhanced after listening to each one of you and listening to the interesting comments and experiences that you have shared, each one of you. I love meditation, so it's like I was just writing the name of the island and all these things about what you were saying. And yes, it is true that it is completing and it is coming to an end, but at the same time, it is a beginning for another stage later and another circle, speaking circles later. But at this moment, I feel complete also. I feel that it was a very nice tapestry that we formed together, and that is exactly what I'm taking in my heart. And I look forward to continue participating in these speaking circles and learning more from each one of you if we coincide in the future. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your presence and your ideas and your comments. It was really very enhancing for me to be here. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Closing with Lena, starting with a breath, starting now.
I also like this monastery or church topic. And I would like one day to go myself to monastery, stay there. I don't know if I will last even a day, but I would like to have this experience. I live not far away from Russian church. Actually, I can even walk. It's like maybe 7 minutes walk to Russian church, local church. And I used to go there weekly. And I wouldn't call myself a religious person. I think one of the reasons I used to go there, it's a sense of community. And Sunday we would cook together, serve together, talk at the same, the long, beautiful table. We usually have like 40, 50 people who would come, eat, share the meal, and just talk about something important. And I loved it. It was maybe the favorite thing for me to do when I moved to California. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't do it anymore. First of all, it's a COVID, and the second of all, someone just give a comment about my daughter because she wasn't dressed properly for the church, and I don't like comments. It's not about comments to my daughter, just I don't like when people come to church to just criticize how you dress, and I stopped going there, and I feel sad. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you, Lena.
Closing with Tatini, or completing, starting with a breath, starting now.
It's a very safe space. Thank you, Lee, and everybody. We appreciate the speaking from silence again. I just love those words, speaking from silence. Sharing from silence. I remember the last time I was in a circle with you was in the apartment in San Francisco. And I was much more nervous. It's a few years ago, 6, 7, 8 or something. I was really nervous. I remember it well, and I feel different now, very much more so grounded and present. And it's interesting to observe, focusing on the belly to see what pops up in the mind to speak about from the belly space. So I like that little energetic dynamic that I've discovered, how it works for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatini.
Thank you, Tatini.
Thank you, Tatini.
Oh, thank you all for a lovely communal stillness hot tub. It's like the beautiful place to hang out with people who know how to allow the stillness and allow others to have the stillness. Thank you. So I'll be sending you soon a link to this video of this wonderful session. And let me know by email if you want to come back same time next week. I have a space tonight, 7 o'clock Pacific available if somebody wants to do a double header today. I have a space tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, if somebody wants to do that one. So Tatini, oh, thank you for showing up, Tatini. Good to have you here. And
Thank you.
we have a conventional closing of a group hug, if you're willing. I see.
Sure.
Kiss is optional.
Big hug.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you,
Good
Lee.
luck, Liz.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.